this on a mid tiny.
Get the farm early, get that Ags, and all of a sudden, yeah, 20 minutes in, you're doing 1K crits.
And as far as Secret go, one of the players that I think has received a bit of flack is mid one. He's looked kind of rough this tournament, but Tiny was the hero in that game through Decider where he really stepped it up and played some good Dota. So
yeah, after that game, I think their team's gonna feel a little more confidence. As they said, they didn't look super happy about their wins, but I think mid one, after that game, he was kind of owning the whole game. Like he carried the first 10-15 minutes with his rotations. So I think giving him that hero that he felt comfortable with is going to, boost up his confidence for the series.
Tiny mid doesn't have too many bad matchups either, would you say? Or what would be the bad ones?
Nothing really stands out to you. It's more like the ranged heroes that get tankier, which there aren't that many these days. The only like ranged heroes are like the Linas, and like probably the scariest is OD, I think.
Okay. Well, playing OD versus the Void wouldn't be too bad of an idea as well, I feel.
Ooh, and that's a hero I just almost forgot about because it's been first picked almost every time, and now you got the easy setup with a Shadow Demon, and that's not fun to play against. You get disrupted, you never know where the arrow's coming from, you're just guaranteed dead almost.
Arrows into Chrono. Yapsor Mirana has been played a lot during this TI9, so I expect it to be in his hands, so we will see the Tiny core, whether it's mid or off lane. That is flexible, I would say.
It could be a core bottom as well.
That's true.
Yeah. EG yesterday, right? They had the Tiny that, and it was like S4 Tiny Sumail Mirana, which was odd, but I agree. I think you put this Mirana on 4.
Yeah. At the same time, though, you'd kind of want this Mirana to lane with the Shadow Demon if possible.
That's true.
Because you want to try to get these early game disruptions into arrows. They could even tri-lane it with the Void for the first level or two, and then he can rotate to the off lane to kind of protect him.
Yeah, because Void doesn't come back very easily, so I definitely think you want to bring him a good lane.
Especially since the other carries can have Empower. Yeah. So this Void who has no built-in, passive gold, way to get gold, like he doesn't have Greevil's Greed, he has no cleave built in, Battle Fury's kind of bad on him. The best is the Maelstrom, but even then, he doesn't really farm that fast, so it's going to be a little scary if Infamous picks some, Jug or this hero that can farm really quickly.
That's got to be what they're looking for with one of these two picks.
Oh my, a PL.
So I watched Infamous play PL in the group stage. I think it was like the second PL game of the tournament. The first one, PL got completely crushed.
Yeah.
But in the Infamous PL game, Hector carried. At the end of the game, like 10, 2, and 7, he completely free farmed. PL got the reason they picked it in that game was for the Mirana. They lane the PL versus the Mirana Shadow Demon, and if he gets disrupted, he's able to doppel walk out. And if his support gets disrupted, he doppel walks and puts an illusion in front of the arrow to tank the arrow for him.
And it's nice, you talked about Ember, right? PL also, if the Void goes on you, you have a way to dodge the Chrono, which is always nice, because you're just going to die if you get Chronoed.
Or they don't even know which one's the real one.
Yeah. And playing Void with that BKB versus like Diffusal Manta, you very quickly lose your entire mana pool. So that's going to be a tough situation for Secret if you get any stuns or lockdown burn through the Void's mana pool.
Yeah, and it's not even, right, you wanted a hero who's decent versus Shadow Demon, whether it's a 5, whether it's a 4, like, you don't want to be picking these Svens who just get kited the whole time, and PL does a lot better against that.
Yeah. The issue is that if he ever gets an illusion, the Shadow Demon's going to also have a
that's not fun, exactly.
Yeah. He's going to be 10 FPS, 30 PL illusions, 15 on each side.
Help me.
I kind of want to ask, like, what are the last picks for Secret to do with PL? But they've also already got Tiny. Like, Tiny's a decent answer, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's pretty good. The Void as well, if he gets late game, he is going to usually have the Maelstrom. If he really wants to be greedy, he can go the Battle Fury, which will help him scale a little more versus the PL. But late game, whenever he chronos the real PL, it doesn't matter about the illusions. You just kill the real PL and the fight's over. So I'm gonna look for, I think still the Ember is probably one of the top picks for Infamous right now. It kind of fits your playstyle, it works really well with the Magnus. But it does set up a couple Team Secret heroes.
Yeah. The last time
the OD, I think.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I was going to say the last time Infamous had the Magnus, they actually earned a Monkey King mid as well. That's something we could see for Chris Luck.
And that gives you a little bit more team fight, right? Like right now, I look at Team Secret, you have a Tiny and a Void, like you have the team fight. On the other side, you've got a Magnus, which is great, but you don't really see these Magnuses going in. He's more of a counter initiate hero now. And I mean, this TI, it feels like you get 30 plus minutes. You want the better team fight nowadays.
I'd be a little scared of Monkey because he does have some hard lane matchups in the game. So if they pick it now, Team Secret, I think, still have the ability to flex. Yeah. This Tiny to a 3, the bottom to a 4, Shadow Demon 5, kind of run a tri-lane, help the Tiny a little, and then, they'll give mid one this favorable matchup. Yesterday, I think we talked a lot about giving mid one a favorable matchup, and they weren't really able to do it in the Mineski series. So his laning stage was, it was really hard for him, I think. But in this game, if he does get a...
Whoa! First Ricky of the tournament has just come out.
So back in the NA scene, before
Let's
I
hear
left to TI, everyone started playing Ricky mid. Everyone was saying it's the cool new thing. You have a lot of new HP regen.
You have
with
5
the
HP
passive.
at level 1, right? Yeah.
So the hero, the backstab works on denies, so he kind of tries to get the maximum amount of CS. You know, it's like the old Kanka, where you'd be able to get every deny and every last hit. And it kind of owns these low armor range heroes. Like, I played a Invoker versus it the other day, and I got completely destroyed.
Last pick Earthshaker, but yeah, it's really okay. So Ricky mid is what you're thinking.
It will be a
Chris
Ricky
Luck,
mid, yes.
he's a Ricky mid player.
Yes.
Oh boy.
This is going to be
Spicy.
some and
Could
the
be a
thing is,
fun game.
it could be an Earthshaker middle as well, right? I think that actually deals very well with
Team
it. We don't
Liquid
know.
to start
Did he?
this
Yeah.
day off.
Oh,
With drops
man.
coming in.
I'm just
We've got a last pick Ricky into Shaker. Ricky is definitely the talk of the scene right now, but before we get our draft, I want to hear what Perch has to say about these two drafts.
It's a very cool draft from Team Seeker. What they did was in their first phase of bans, they banned out all the comfort heroes for Infamous, and that's very effective to do against a team that isn't as normalized in the pro scene. They might be going for heroes that they feel comfortable with, so when you ban those out, it's going to put them on the back foot a little bit. And on the other side, Seeker also got probably the most contested heroes in the patch right now, core-wise, with Tiny who can abuse his Aghanim Scepter, and Void who can Chronosphere to combo that extremely well. So you can use these two teamfight heroes and gank heroes to get tons of kills in the early mid game. But on the other side, Infamous does have the benefits of having Mag RP. They've also got the PL, which is going to be effective against the Mirana, another really strong laning hero that Secret got. So from my perspective, it seems like Secret got almost all the best heroes in the current meta, according to this tournament so far. And on the other side, Infamous is going to do some typical wacky stuff, but with new heroes. So it's going to be an amazing match. Let's toss it over to the casters. So when you ban those out, it's going to put them on the back foot a little bit.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and Secret have been wearing the crown all year long. But here at the International, they have been put to the test. They're gonna against every young team that wants to be able to build their legacy, cement their immortality by bringing down the king. First it was Mineski, which Secret barely managed to eke out a win against, and now it's going to be Infamous, another underdog team that has probably built up even more steam than Mineski has.
Infamous is such a surprise, just because I think any betting man would have had them in the bottom 2, and that would have been one of the more comfortable bets that you would have made at CI. That would have been not a guarantee, but very near a guarantee. And the fact that they're top 8 and they're in a position to knock out Secret is incredible. And Secret, everyone is waiting to knock them off. You just have contender after contender coming after that crown. Even though OG are the defending champions, being the top of the DPC means you have the most attention on you.
Exactly. They're the ones who are favorited to be able to win this International, no matter what the results have said so far. And Secret did exactly what a lot of us talked about when facing up against Infamous. Why are teams giving them the Wraith King? Why are teams giving them this like Schofield Tiny stuff like this? Just stop letting that happen. Ban away their favorite heroes. In Infamous, they have the opportunity to be able to show that they are not just a one-hit wonder, that they have depth to them, and they have something up their sleeve, and that's going to be the mid lane Chris Luck Riki, a hero that has not been picked or banned in the International until now.
And you're talking about depth. If you can win a game with Ricky on the main stage against Team Secret, we can definitely say that you've got depth to your team.
Absolutely. It's definitely going to be something that Secret may not be totally familiar with.
Did you see that, by the way? Schofield dropped all of his items in front of Puppy. If Puppy just levels Disruption there and he's quick enough, if he anticipated that Schofield was going to do that, Schofield would just be starting with nothing right now. He dropped his boots on the ground first in front of Puppy, trying to bait him out. And this is something that makes his team so cool and unique. How many players are willing to risk this much money, this much placement on stuff like that?
An early toss up in the top lane. Schofield is into the range of the tower. Fortunately, Puppy with only Shadow Poison can't really stall up Schofield, so not going to have our first blood. But Secret are trying to get a certain set of lanes right now by swapping things around. Is it because they want the Mag versus Void matchup? They want that one-on-one?
I think so. It's a really good one-on-one for him. Plus, it's not easy for Mag to be in a position where you're dual laning against the Tiny plus the Shadow Demon. You're just going to get pure denied. Whereas one-on-one matchup, you're perfectly fine. Plus, top lane, I think, is going to win. I feel like they have a lot of harass potential, and they can easily secure Hector's farm in this game.
Our mid lane matchup is definitely going to be the most interesting first. Puppy, he's going to be fine.
And I've never seen
silence
in professional Dota. I don't think I've seen Earthshaker versus Ricky mid. I think this might be a first for me.
I'm pretty certain that Earthshaker is one of the few heroes that can really deal with the backstab damage. Comes to Riki, the arrow comes out, and that is going to be your first blood on Stinger. They try and turn things around by killing Puppy, but now Schofield has overextended himself trying to trade off kills, and he's going to be slowly whittled away by YapzOr. As Schofield, the Shadow Shaman, it has a bit of a slower base movement speed. So the boots versus boots right now is going to be the favor of YapzOr, but doesn't really feel like chasing that
DD
far.
Runa top. First Luck is going to make his lane a little bit easier here. Mid one gonna pop the salve. He is taking a decent amount of harassment. He's gonna take a little bit more here. Mid one probably doesn't want to trade up against this Riki. He's gonna deny so many of these creeps. This is why Riki mid has some potential.
So one of the big benefits of Riki Core, right, is that cloak and dagger, is the fact that you have this this agility damage multiplier that allows you to be able to do a lot more damage when it comes to getting CS, both the last hits as well as the denies. Opening that a lot of CS open to you that normally wouldn't be. But in this situation, it's active against Earthshaker, who also has the same kind of ability.
Hector getting low.
He's going to be in the trees. The arrow lands from YapzOr. That's going to be a second kill for Secret. Now, is they're going to be able to disrupt Stinger, perhaps, and bring him down, but Zai is a little bit too low. No mana. If anything, Puppy has to be careful. Schofield's really gunning for him right now. Ether Shock. Need another swing or two to be able to finish him off, but they do at least bring down the carry of Infamous.
2-0 early kill lead. Right now, no team too far ahead as Infamous and Secret are nearly identical when it comes to the net worth, despite that.
Oh, he tossed, but it was an illusion that he actually got, and as a result, he's going to be shackled up and finished off by Hector.
And that's -2.
Permanent loss. Try not to think about it too much, but it's always there.
And especially on a hero like Tiny, who already has a slow and phase input. Plus, you're not going to go for treads that much anymore. A lot of people have been opting for the phase boots on pretty much every strength core, which means you don't have that option of strength in switching on your treads. Regen rune picked up by the Magnus, still doing okay against the Void.
Whisper actually ran down to the bottom rune, and he was rewarded. He actually got a regen, so he refilled his bottle and had some regeneration. Some time lost in lane sucks, but it was honestly probably the best rune that he could get in that situation.
I think he may have made a miscalculation by going for the 2 levels of Shockwave just because Void top.
Oh, they're going to be able to bring down Schofield. Now Stinger's in trouble. YapzOr leaping forward. It's in very far going up, but Stinger can't get to the trees fast enough. YapzOr gets the double kill.
And YapzOr is making this lane hell right now for Infamous. A lot of arrows, good movement overall. Mid lane, Chris Luck getting quite low, but
you could see it in the CS. This is not a 1v1 matchup. This Riki is really dumbstering, which I think they were hoping for. They're going to land another arrow. This time, Schofield is going to be the one to fall. A Secret invade going for those bounty runes. Now, Zai's going to be a bit low, but Hector running out of mana now could be defeated as well. They just do not seem to be able to contest this tri-lane. And the other 2 solo lanes are going perfectly fine for Secret.
On top of that, Stinger was forced to pick up 2 of the sentry wards to try to help his Riki mid. But mid one's not buying any. He doesn't really care about this Invis Riki in his lane.
Every single time Chris Luck shows up, mid one just fights him because Earthshaker has those kind of good base stats. He's able to hit him every once in a while with the Aftershock. The Enchant Totem allows him to be able to contest for like range creeps that Chris Luck would usually be able to get an eye on against other 1v1 matchups.
Schofield's made his way mid, but he's got to be careful. It is level 6. Gonna fight over this rune.
Try and jump a mid one. He doesn't have his level 6. It's gonna be a little precarious for Infamous, and the arrow as well. Oh, they do have the smoke screen, but that's enough to stop Schofield from falling. Not sure what Infamous really was planning out there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the end goal of that play is. Considering it's an Earthshaker, he's just stronger than you right now. Your Riki's not level 6.
And maybe the cracks are beginning to show. Infamous drafting some heroes that they haven't played as much in the group stage and even the playoffs. And as a result, practice with what to do.
Give them a little bit of leeway because and this team catches up through farm real quick, Cap. Really, really quick. Plus they have a Magnus, one of the heroes that they're better with. Whisper's got a one-on-one solo lane, so he's gonna pick up levels pretty easily.
That is true. Like we've got two different agility cores that have pretty good agility stats, especially the Phantom Lancer, right? His agility game is off the charts. That Empower is really going to start kicking in the mid.
And Earthshaker is good against you until a point. Then there are ways to work around it. It's really hard for him to know which the real PL is.
Hunter does have the doppelganger. Stunned by Avalanche is going to be able to hit all of them. Which one is the real one? They've sniffed it out, but they won't be able to get the kill. Bottom lane, skewer in, RP being used, and they will be able to get the kill on Ninja. Sneaky rotation from Schofield, and finally, Infamous, they get an opening, they get a kill. That is not a trade.
And it's a kill on a core that's had solo XP, so this is going to boost up everybody that was a part of that. Nisha on his way to the Midas. Anytime you die, getting that close to Midas, it feels so bad. Cap.
Yeah.
It slows down your timing, your rhythm. It feels like you're being punished for your greed. I think he decided to, because most Voids do, but also it didn't feel like anybody was going to try to go for the gank on such a high level Void. And he's got 2 levels of Time Walk. But with the Arcane Rune, he was willing to pop the RP there. Mid one's gonna grab the Invis and might opt to start making some rotations around the map. That mid lane has been so free.
Hector, one of the biggest things that everybody's been praising him for, especially pro players, is his proficiency at farming. And most of the time it's on Wraith King or Lifestealer, but here it's on a Phantom Lancer, which could be the hardest carry of the 3. But we haven't seen a whole lot of Phantom Lancer. Why is what caused this hero to fall from the meta?
I feel like he's just too slow. His teamfight potential really requires him to hit so many different item timings. There aren't a lot of carries nowadays where I feel like you have to wait for 3 different items before they feel viable at fighting.
Yeah.
And Phantom Lancer, part of the problem is you have carries like Tiny that just get 1 item. You get an Echo Super, you feel pretty good about fighting. The next item leads into the Aghanim Scepter, and you're even better. Whereas Phantom Lancer, you get a Diffusal, still not good at fighting. You get Manta, you're still squishy. You have to keep building upon your farm. Everybody's so fast.
Yeah.
Even Face is considered a slower hero, but the one thing is you come with the best teamfight in the game in Chronosphere. It can always save your ass, regardless of what position you are. And I feel like heroes like Void, heroes like Wraith King are just good because it's easy for your team to play around. Everyone knows the kind of plays that you want.
Whereas Phantom Lancer, his timings and how
It's so
he's
weird
able to beat in a team fight, it's a little different. There isn't those obvious team fight wins. There isn't those obvious timings. It's about the other 4 of Infamous being able to basically win fights, openings for Hector to then clean up with his diffuse light, with all the chase down that Fan Rush gives you. We're going to see a heavy rotation coming out of the Secret for the 10-minute runes. Infamous do the same on the other side of the map, but Nisha does grab one of them, so.
One of the best ways to deal with Ricky, of course, is going to be the Force Staff. Core player, you don't love building it as one of your first items, but yeah, because of the sheer amount of kills he's gotten, and he's got pretty good farm to go along with it. He almost has it in its entirety.
That's pretty crazy. Since mid one is going straight for the Aghanim Scepter, you would think that the smoke screen is going to be a good counter to him, but if he can rely on Yapzor out of balance, this will be a very effective core pickup. Whisper's going to make a rotation over here, powering up Hector, but what else are we doing? We try to make a play to defend top. That Seed Wagon already dealing so much damage. Mid lane, they're going to go for it. Mid one, he's definitely in trouble. Here with the combo of Shackles, Wards, and the ult coming out from Chris Luck.
Into the smoke, so it wasn't able to instantly pop the Chrono, which allowed Chris Luck to reset. Get back into the fight. Puppy getting chased right now. You should know about this. What I really like about Secret is they place a sentry to go along with every one of their wards.
Yeah.
other at the bottom lane, Nisha knew that Slug was coming. The downside of this, though, Cap, is it's going to really slow down everyone's farm. Puppey is used to being a slightly greedier 5. You're in this game where you're buying so many different entries.
Chris Luck is just trying to where he can the power, and he's going to try and absorb here. Double leap just gets him away.
And they're smoked up right now on the side of Infamous. They want to make the rotation up the top lane, but the tower's already dead. If they can kill mid one, that'd probably be the biggest kill that they could go for, but he does have a haste rune, so they'd have to lock him down perfectly. Hoping he walks onto the ground here. Maybe if he gets onto the low ground, Whisper has the RP.
Gonna go to open with the Hex here, the follow-up Shackles. No need for RP here. They can hold that. Whisper kill on one. As he just gets a bit sloppy. I was really concerned for Infamous there. It just seemed like they didn't know what they were doing around the map. 3-man smoke up where Chris Luck goes bottom. They lose the tower top, but rewarded with a core kill makes this a little bit better.
Walking up hills with no vision is the easiest way to die in Dota. That is 10 out of 10 you will get punished for that at this level. Infamous is good enough to take advantage of that fact. One just a little bit too cocky, but I'd like to see some sort of tower pressure right now from Secret aside from that top lane.
Yeah.
Take this bottom one, rotate around to your chronosphere. The downside of making that move though is that Nisha doesn't really have any items. He has no damage dealing, so somebody else has to come, which is why Zai's down here.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. They don't really have a clear tower pusher, right? It's like maybe Zai can throw some damage into the tower, and yet he still managed to hit one tier 1, and they've done a fair amount of chip in that mid lane as well. Nisha was really trying to push that.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Tiny's pretty good, but I feel like Secret's philosophy throughout the year is you don't have to have these tower pushers. As long as you can just kill them enough and get map control, it's okay.
Yeah.
Towers will naturally fall because the best way and the easiest way to clear towers is if you can skip the wave and put all the creeps onto it, Puppey top.
So you get off the enough for Puppey to get away. Chris Luck, it just really showed. He is trying to move around, trying to get these kills without his diffusal blade, without any sort of... The smoke screen just isn't good enough. Stinger is going to be caught here as he tried to just collect a little bit of the gold that is flowing in on the tower push.
Yeah, we talked about this bottom tower push. This is exactly what they needed to do. Even if you don't have the easiest ways to set that up, for mid lane, gonna go on a mid one. The wards have been dropped too. Shackles follow up. Chris Luck with the strike. That'll nab a kill for them. Unfortunately, without the wards, won't be able to put any pressure. And Whisper is in fact stuck and has no way to get out. He doesn't have a TP, no, and he's just gonna have to hold this position. They kill him here, Cap.
Yeah, 25 seconds. A skewer's up in 2. The arrow's gonna land it. He does have the skewer up. Aside to over the back. The serpent ward trap. He's gonna be shackled up though, and the global silence will actually protect Infamous very nicely. Zai though is still dying from the tricks of the trade. How do you go up Infamous? I think Secret just got a little bit greedy about it, but the global silence was honestly just perfect.
It was, and he meaning to bait there, but it works them in their favor.
Yeah.
6 to 7, most from the towers that they were able to grab early on. And Chris Luck doing this entire time. One thing about Infamous that really stands out is one of their 2 cores is always farming.
Yes. And this game, he had to. Well, Chris Luck is the one trying to plays, but he's going to get chains done. He shouldn't be able to get off the smoke screen or the tricks of the trade. Go slams to make sure he has no chance of living.
They know that Stinger's in this area because of the ward. Mid one gonna run into him. This should be an easy. Doesn't even have boots right now.
Chronosphere at the bottom lane as well, leading into the arrow, but Hector shows his face. They're not going to be able to get that kill. Back over the top lane where Stinger, I honestly just don't think there's a way for him to survive. No matter how much jukes this, a Fissure and some Shadow Poisons is going to be enough. 6-9, Team Secret up by just a K.
Chronosphere, it's strong, of course, but without any damage, I didn't go for this Midas build. You'll have level 2.
Radiant's middle
but
tower is under
you literally don't have the attack speed.
Yeah.
You need Maelstrom. You need her.
That's something that did kind of strike me about Secret's lineup. They don't have the obvious big nukes to throw into the sphere early. Later on, you know, if they start getting double Starstorm, the tree volley, then it's insane. But early on, you don't have the absolute greatest. Most of the time, it's set up for an arrow, maybe some poisons.
Oftentimes that'll be enough, and Infamous don't have that easy save. What this game, I think, will come down to is not really even the farm, but the situation. Secret take a good fight. They're the ones that started. They can just snap 1 or 2 heroes to begin with. I think that Infamous...
Oh, the long-range Hex managed to catch him on Surfer Wards. The Shackle's going out, the tricks, the trade, but it's just not going to last long enough unless... No, Ninja does manage to get the time walk away. They're going to still try and chase him down. Chris Luck thinking about it, but that time dilate and slowing it down.
And that's 3 times that they've gone for it. Zai looking... does have a Blink Dagger. I do like how Schofield is using his wards just aggressively to grab kills. Doesn't really care about the cooldown very much. I don't feel like they care about towers all that much. This top pressure is the first time we've really seen them do something.
Yeah, Hector's like, I guess with Manta, I'm finally strong enough that I'm scared to any sort of solo kill. But even then, he's really not trying to push it. He could be there, swinging at the tower. Instead, he's trying to hit neutrals, while most of Secret showing mid.
I think Secret have realized, as bad as we are at potentially taking fights or taking towers, Infamous is work now.
Yes. They're just aggressively for a lot of the game, a lot of four-manning. Night Shadow is there going into the high ground puppy entry, but they've already jumped on Ignatius. This is a fantastic kill if they can get it with the global sound. Force staff save is not there. Midwatch jumping forward with that interceptor. Field and Poda looking for his open. Here into low ground. Catch him, a buyback from Schofield. They're going to try and chase down some of these heroes, and buyback does result in at least 1 kill. Here's Pop. It's going to get canceled. Whisper's going to use the RP to be able to grab stuff. Skewers them back into Stinger. They just want to make sure they have the damage. That Zai's not going to be able to get away with Blink Dagger, and they can get this kill. Well, they gave it to Poppy. Oh, Stinger instead. Oh, in this between taking away intelligence, between getting Hector these kills, he's now top net worth by a large lead, 10K.
Ooh, he's at that 10K mark, 18 minutes. And this is the dangerous part is, Hector will get his. Regardless of what the situation is, dying at top lane, Hector will get his. And maybe we finally see some sort of... They do have the wards. And for a brief second, we saw them really take a gold. These guys, and they came to play today.
And the first Serpent wards for a tower as well. It's always used to try and get a kill, but mid tower being all important.
Schofield gets the last hit, and finally was Stinger getting the kill because he needed boots. My man, 18 minutes in, just picked up a pair.
No.
If you conversely look at Puppy, I mean, he's a literal prince compared to Stinger. He's got 2 bracers and a magic wand.
Yeah, you said Puppy the poor one because he has to buy so many sentries, but somehow Stinger ends up even poorer.
Stinger, his luxury item right now is that wow. He's had to buy just as many sentries to combat the fact that Puppy's pot.
He's gonna find him. Feel fast enough. He's gonna be able to get the Hex before the blink. What a massive kill. That's all thanks to that Observer Ward in lane. Zai run through the lane, go into the trees, and they hunted him down. As a result, we're gonna go back. Look at that team fight. Scoping with the buyback here. Because of that, we go back into it is now with the global silent. Yapto, he's done. They're going to look at Puppy as well. Tricks of the trade being used right as Nisha was hoping for the Chronosphere. He's almost dead here, but they can't go to jump in for mid one. Looking to be able to finish up Chris Luck, but he hit. It's not going to be enough. The smoke screen, he gets the swing in, and the Chronosphere going out. Finish off Schofield as well. Those disabled.
During that time,
nobody
Hector
from Infamous is actually coming over here because Hector, he's trying to hit a tier 3 right now. Buying him time. Go, Hector, go. I've got this.
2K for Infamous because they took the tower. Secret, they've got to put pressure on this tower, but they feel a little bit worried because they don't have Chronosphere. Back up completely. Things go. They 3 kills, but it does cost them a tier 2 tower. They get a tower trade in return, but I think for Secret, they're happy about things.
Yeah.
Being even in a game like this against a team that wants to farm, you still have what I feel like.
Yeah.
With Earthshaker, with Chronosphere, I think your ease of setting up team fight are easier anyways.
I'll agree with that. If Infamous don't make a good fight happen, okay. They did use Chronosphere, they did use Echo Slam, we still have to be up for...
This would be a really good time to smoke.
If Infamous should go fight out.
If
spoil that shot.
Chris Luck did know is he was actually outside of the sentry range, and then he walked back a bit, confused.
Yeah.
You just never know what.
Oh, they did go for the smoke.
Okay.
All right, so this is what we wanted out of them because the timing of it works out so nice. If you can get this kill, you wrote.
They know they
get
have
a core kill.
a solid 45 seconds until Echo and Chronosphere. They don't global silence, but they have confidence.
No, they're...
Oh, okay. And maybe this is a cooler play. Instead of trying to force the fight with just off the arm.
This is not going to work. Seek is a wide... Yep. Arrow into committed though, and they saw the serpent up.
Gonna throw in. What about the smoke? They need out. Chris Luck is actually gonna jump forward to make sure this can't. But mid one Anisha gonna come through.
They'll never bow.
He can top the fire straight on the shot. Roshan now with the agent. He's gonna try and finish. Be careful of it. He does manage to get that off and jumps away just in time before he's burnt out of it. Now goes for the Chronosphere. He sees that Chris Luck is in pit and he's down. Hector though sounds the moment you big Sai who's burned to to be able to survive through this. Mid one lays out the Fisher for him, but feeling the fight, they got the Roshan. It worked for them.
3 for 2 trade and the buyback from Puppy. They did lose their mid Ricky, but they get the bigger objective. And he is so incredible. He has almost a heart. He's got a fully completed Manta and a Diffusal. We talked about how this hero could be a little bit slower in its build-up timing because you're not looking for the 1 timing, not even the 2, but you need 3 items on this hero to come. And he's got it at the 23-minute mark.
Yeah, we're almost there, and that's where maybe some of the damage problems are going to come up. Chronosphere may not be enough to count Hector anymore. Blitz, you said something I think that was really smart this morning. You were talking about the synergy between cores. You said you named a lot of teams that just had it. Mineski had it. You say Infamous has it between Chris Luck and Hector. What is that synergy?
I feel like they know where the other part of being a good one is, and I feel like that's what makes OG so potent. You saw it in the interview yesterday where Casey said, how do you feel about Anna coming back? He said, I love Anna. Favorite player ever is top. This is going to be a free kill for them. Nisha, pretty big.
This is massive. They need another smoke screen with a level 15 talent. He's got it.
And it feels like they know how to create space for each other. They always play on opposite. Yep. Their 1 and 2 positions have an understanding.
You can see the cap.
Hear myself.
I does man through back, but he's just been he's gonna get burned out of his pit so quickly. But what an entrance from him with that enchant totem. Out the Magnus as well. He finished up on a toss that comes out from Zai in the right hand. He's now entirely though. The Moonlight Shadow against the though is enough to be able to finish off Yaptor, Zai, and mid one. Will back and giving up this tier 2 tower.
They did get some out of that as they forced 2 buybacks, 2 heroes dead, so this is going to be a 2 for 3, but and push. This top lane is pushing at the same time. You see that Schofield's going for the play. He's hoping that he drops the wards. Being assaulted both sides of the map, Secret have to decide. They decide to go for Schofield. Bottom lane, likely to lose its tier 3. Secret, they're in shambles right now. They're not quite sure where to go.
Nisha has the Chronosphere. He's going to need Hector to be able to help stop this push. Hector's actually going to jump forward. Trying to get surrounding him. The extra life though. Up the global sounds going down. Rise the enchant. Mid one, not able to finish off that Phantom Lancer. Hector's getting his away, but now the Chronosphere goes out. There's able to bring down this Phantom Lancer. He does have the Aegis though. Stinger's gonna die inside the Chrono as well. They use the arrow though. He's gonna be able to jump away instantly with a job again. Inside the trick trade. But he's done. Shot block. Chris Luck almost dead with the BKB. He can't get out. He's dead as well. Infamous drop 3. And Secret, they will manage to hold on. Melee barracks.
Took heavy damage at that top lane, but a great overall. They only lose the range racks. It feels like it comes online with like they're okay with that idea as long as they're winning team fights. Nowadays, it doesn't feel like if you're getting wiped repeatedly, that's not a game-ending situation anymore.
Infamous just as easily in that situation could have taken the tier 3 and backed up.
Yeah, decided to stick around. Their strength it was just such an awkward fight because they don't have the vision advantage going into that. And Secret, they understood that was a great fight for them to take.
You saw that fast blink from the field, dodging the Fisher at mid one here. You could see not just far. Hector dove in so deep, all the way into the tier 4s to try and finish up that Shatter
Look
team.
at this top move right now. Schofield's got blink and
everybody.
see, or this should be a Ward's even dropped.
More staff the Riki for. It's really the that has been Yapzor's worst enemy. Now look, 82% win probability. Blitz, if you told me there was an 82% chance that in bringing down team
Why though?
top 6 before this international, I would have said that's absolutely crazy. But going, it felt like a 50-50 matchup.
I think this is a straight point for the with how mortal Secret has looked in their last few series. This is not the dominant team that we saw. The cracks, you can see they're not playing with that same bravado and confidence that we saw all throughout the year where they said, we're the best in the world, come at us. But keep in mind, nothing to this team.
Yeah.
Counting them out or waxing poetic about how good Infamous is doing doesn't matter. We can talk about how good Mineski did. Maybe you'll say they outplayed, but when it mattered, 2-1, that's the only result anyone will care about. It doesn't matter that Infamous 3-4K gold lead with an Aegis. Secret can just bust out a win.
Yeah, believe me, you tell those Mineski players right now, hey, you guys did a great job, played Secret a lot of the game. It's not going to make you feel any better about the fact that they were out of the international. 19 to 20, 28 minutes in, Infamous holding 1,000 gold lead. Specifically, Hector, 5,000 over the second carry in the game. That's Nisha's Faceless Void.
I'd say though, having net worth on this Earthshaker is so important. I think
Radiant
the
structures are fortified.
quite high.
Yeah.
Earthshaker's damage, of course, is really nice. It's really easy to get off because of the Ag Scepter. And even more so now that he's got this BKB, there's only one real way to control him up. That's the RP.
Unfortunately, Simpow does not really. Most of the time he has issues where he's not running around getting kills. He's a little slow at farming. Power actually helps him out quite a lot. He now gets his level 18 as a result.
And his biggest problem
massive level as well
is that you have to melee jump in and you don't have his disable as a core.
Yeah.
And you're really squishy.
Yeah.
You will die really quickly. He's got good. And take a look, he's got a BK, a lot of stat items, and only rocks 1,500 health.
Just one Echo Slam, one Toss Avalanche.
Hey, we saw him pop the BKB and just kill. A 1,500 HP BKB does not feel good.
Trying to get the basher right. I'm with Scepter is in good consideration for him as well to be able to solve some of those issues. Just jump inside, whispers Magnus.
Yeah, and look at this aggressive pickup. They grab the gem on the Earthshaker. Big fan of that. Feels like they're playing to win.
Yeah, like not just against the Riki, right? But when you're trapped in space, you know they're going to have aggressive vision. You need to, from them, you reclaim your farming spots.
2K gold lead dips down to 1, hovering around that area. A relatively even game between both squads. If anything, I'd actually give Secret because of the amount of teamfight they can put out and how easy it is. I actually feel like this Riki, every time I have seen it feels a little bit underwhelming because of the way you have to fight.
Yeah.
And Schofield for that arcane rune. That was a terrible idea.
Yeah. Mid one collects it for his bottle, and the Shadow Shot this team fight in Secret. They see that opportunity, a 4 position going down. That's an opportunity for them to take an objective.
And look at this, they instantly know Stinger.
Yeah.
Gonna de-ward that. That'll alert both to know each other's presence. Hector gonna come back. And Secret, after they grab this tower, they have to do it, and that'll make it so that Schofield isn't pressured, doesn't have the buyback anyways, but even if he did, because of this top push, it sort of just makes...
I really like this Boots of Trap as well, just allowing him to be able to deal with pushes like this, but still, I mean, he's a great combination, right, of catch against this Phantom Lancer and the side lane pushes, but also he represents so much team fight. He can't be absent from his team. Hard up next, win for the echo damage against an illusion hero. And it's going to feel pretty balanced. Looking for the smoke screen going out, still have the damage as a toss tree as well as Nisha's just not fast whatsoever. Trying to go. Stewart out there is going to be down, but inside they have been one trapped and that's the gem. Chris, get out there, going to be Puppy. Who else? Secret is going to get caught. Schofield, he's trying for it. He's got the blink dagger. He's got the watch the arrow. Try and get the hex off, even with the lotus orb. It doesn't matter. Just stop side for the way he does it. Victor gets on top of it. Go good right. The arrow onto him. Hector, half health, doppelganger away, mid one, jumps into him now. RP, it doesn't hit mid one, and that's so bad. He's going to get up the Visher, and that's done on the Hex. The arrow hit him as well. He nailed it on the side with another fresh volley. Finished off the supports of Infamous and Team Secret. A long, drawn-out fight.
And Roshan is up. That looks so good for them to start. They got the kill on the Earthshaker. They recovered the gem, but they just went for a little bit too much. And that's that discipline that this team, it lacks at times. And Secret, I mean, they have that experience. They know how that fight's going to look if it goes on for long enough.
I mean, I just can't believe they didn't just leave and die behind. Nisha opting to go back in with mid one buying back at the same time and TPing in. It turns the fight around humongously. Look at him. He jumps on to Whisper right as he was about to get the skewer into the smoke screen. And then
such a sick echo right there. If they get RP'd in that situation, Secret have just fought back and lost the game.
And this one too, the RP not, the skewer and the RP not catching mid wall. He gets a Fisher out, so there's no damage onto the two that get controlled.
And now they're going for the high ground, and this is why in Secret, they don't care about the gold leads. All it takes them is one fight.
Yeah.
In these positions, Mineski learned that the hard way. This team is scary because they will find a way to win. It won't always look the prettiest,
but they always have. It's like the old EG where you always have team fight. You always have the ability to win the late game.
Yeah, it just makes your early game look so weird, which is something I've been thinking for a while. It feels like they can't really play that mid-game tempo like they like to. High, and there's a time where you will make a mistake against them, and you will falter.
Yeah, because it's so easy to misstep and get counter buybacks. Because no matter how strong you are, if it ends up being a 5 versus 10, you're gonna run out of damage, you're gonna run out of cooldowns.
Yeah, that's why after we saw the win percentage, I thought it was Secret's favor.
Yeah.
In fact, I thought it was like 70-30 them. I think that's what, and they're gonna grab another. He has more than enough damage to kill Chris Luck. And this team, they're starting to fall apart a little bit.
I mean, at this point, Chris can't show himself anywhere on the map.
1800 health with the BKB. That does not protect him.
The 25% backtrack again. The is forward. Nisha continues to run this. I think we saw him do it in the group stages.
It's pretty value against illusion-based heroes.
Yeah, for sure. Slowing down damage.
It's even better than Butterfly because there's no way that you can deal with it. It's not evasion in that sense.
Yep. His smoke is gonna break, so he should know, or unless he thinks it's a tower.
Looked like he was walking in that area for a second, but does know. Hector, for as farmed as he is, he needs a pretty big RP to set. They just need their disables to be able to live. Come in. He's actually about this, but it's
the shackle on the side. Here comes the arrow. The Fisher out as well, but he didn't. Viewer backwards. Full BKB is going down. There's where the RP is. On Anisha right now. He does manage to get. On BKB. On mid one. jump away. Chris really wants to hunt down. He's blink cast range too. If he can actually just get the vision, that's going to be opted by Schofield. X. Now the follow-up. Chris Luck with the smoke screen slowing him down. Nisha. Let's be able to. They're controlling him up. Now maybe even a little bit more. Earthshaker still has that Aegis. What
Looking for him, but he's far.
He is so far away. And Whisper, he would have to make a blind guess with a skewer, which he does just 2 seconds too late.
And that fight, it looked like it was going to be so good, but for once, Hector let the tank up so much damage, and the ward placed the Shaman by Schofield was sick there. He made it so that both melee cores on the side of Secret were stuck together, lined it up real nice and easy for the rest of his team to come in. And now it's Infamous that are playing aggressively. Maybe they want to force the buyback out of Nisha, but he'll have Chronosphere on that respawn, and they have Echo. It's not like they blew a lot of spells. Infamous, they've got to be careful.
Fisher first. Hero. And self-protected by Hector's over. Chris Luck. He's going to be able to mid one, but this mid one jumping in. Stop. He's committing. Well, Hector pops BKB now. Mid one. Holds Echo Slam. Now going to Puppy. Is going to be falling, but at Stinger both die inside the complex.
And he's completely burned out of mana. Zai clearing out some of these illusions, and that's the second range racks taken, but...
And you have to wonder, did it miss? Push their luck a little bit too much again because they don't have buyback on the Shadow Shaman.
And they know about that on the side of Secret. They weren't able to put the Aegis. Never really able to get isolated out. He's too tanky with the BKB and the Reaver. They'd have to get into a position where they're 1v5ing, just beating on him.
It's crazy how Hector keeps on just running past mid one and going for these heroes in the back line. And mid one, he's trying to chase him down, but
Hector, if he stays for that one, they've got vision on this high ground. Gonna blink out.
He's got to force it up as well, but he's not going to use it fast enough. The Chronosphere does manage to catch him. He gets Phantom Lancer. They're going to be able to get these silence. BKB in the follow-up. The Echo Slam. It locks down the carry of Infamous, and it'll catch Whisper as well. They have a
He doesn't have buyback for 110.
They have a buyback on Hector, but it's only going to be the 3 of them defending against Secret. Once again, Secret's buyback, Secret holding the high ground. It's going to turn into an offensive position.
I'm starting to think that Secret is actually maybe the most exciting team in Dota right now. Because of their playstyle and the way that they force teams to fight around them, everyone just obliges, and you get into these weird situations where you just non-stop run at each other.
Chris Luck is going to try and get a fast kill onto this tiny, not go fast though. Look how tanky Zai is. Tricks the trade, trying to burn him down. Beats him. The fast though, stays inside. He's down to Zai. Trying to run away, chasing so deep for this one. The BKB goes off from Chris Luck, but a force staff and die, blink up, he's away.
That was the buyback from Hector. This is going to put gold lead to 12K. Very strong position now.
That's what they wanted out of that. They can have their buyback on Nisha. He just needs for gold. Same goes with and mid one.
And the scary, weird part about Secret is when you're ahead of them, it never really feels like you're ahead of them.
Yeah.
And when you're behind them, it feels like you're going to lose the game.
It's about Infamous. We know they don't have buyback. We know that Secret has buyback. This is not going to slow down. They're not going to dip inside their base.
I mean, they went into a which was so ballsy where to go.
I mean, look at Chris Luck's just...
Yeah, Chris Luck actually... He pops BKB, you just die.
Yeah, you don't have BKB on Chris Luck, so if there's any sort of avalanche or Fisher immediately...
Yeah, the fact that they went top against an Aegis and there was a buyback on Nisha just to get...
Yeah.
That really felt like they were playing the wire there.
And that's the thing. Is like this is why we talk about Infamous and their playstyle being so cocky. It just seems like they don't really care who their opponent is. They think they're going to outplay them. They're playing in a position of inferiority. They're playing in a position they don't have the buybacks. They're playing in a position where they could lose the game if they force a fight right now, but they're going to do it anyway.
What I have to love about this team is their commitment to just running at you and trying to win Dota.
They just hit the level 25 on Hector with the doppelganger cooldown. It is so hard to lock this hero down, but Secret has so much control. It's going to be a battle of reflexes between the BKB, the doppelgangers.
They
Chris
find the angle here.
Trade, they're trying to find the angle. Putting on a Dominion popped out. Venetia go for the Shadow Shaman, does manage to get him as well as field champ for the BKB. They're just going to try and chase down the rest. It's going to be Chris Luck who falls as well. Stinger and Chris Luck. They he was the one who could not die back, and he does manage to get out safely.
Oh, the fight. It looked like it was going to be okay for Infamous, but Secret just too tanky. Mid one, 3,500 HP and a BKB. You're not taking that too easily.
I mean, is Hector, are they getting the Empower onto Hector? It just feels like when this RP comes down, he just doesn't do any damage to them.
Radiant's middle tower has
He
fallen.
definitely did.
I mean, he doppelgangers away. That's going to say a lot, but
Radiant's top
They just don't have the damage right now. Even with the awards with Ags. Secret, resilient again.
and this is what we talked about multiple times, and how
Radiant's
play
top
up
tower
against
has
Infamous
fallen.
is to let them and all their aggression you and put yourself in this play. So whether that's being tanky enough to be able to take BKBs, playing on the grounds, because you know Infamous, once they get their spooking and making a fight anyway, that means Secret, after winning that fight, are going to be able to get the Roshan, that's Aegis, Cheats, and a Refresher Shard, 8 shard. We have any other big level 25s that just got picked up? We had the Avalanche cooldown from Zai's Tiny, as the Chrysalis, soon to be Daedalus. Watch out for that tree volley, especially on top of the Chronosphere.
And there's a Hex on Yapsor, who has been an absolute fiend in this game. Another item, more Satanics coming out from Secret. Mid one's gonna grab one too.
Dude, there's so many instant disables. You're like, the disables that can come from outside of vision as well.
Scanning.
Avalanche, Infamous have to be like super trigger happy with the BKBs.
I love, by the way, how aggressive mid one's been in this game.
Yeah.
We said he needed these kind of games. He had one yesterday. This sort of just builds on it. These are the kind of games that build your confidence. You work yourself, because I think even he would admit he feels like his performances are probably a little bit underwhelming, but he's coming in clutch. His team fight in these games have been insane. That one fight that probably determined a lot of how this game looks, where he bought back, hits the 3-man echo.
Yep. Hit the echo, doesn't get hit by the RP. Things he did right in that.
Yes. He should be absolutely commended for that.
The smoke up from Team Secret. They're going to sweep through into here. They can catch anybody from the
Scanning.
would be massive. It's right in his
probably have one more good fight in the left.
Stinger. Tap buyback, so he's going to be the one top of the smoke rotation.
Gonna walk up this area, the rest of them. He could buy back, but he doesn't have a shrine to connect with the rest of the team, so it looks like the smoke just it's not gonna work.
Yeah, Infamous are very likely just to pick up this bounty rune. Okay, they're the bounty rune.
Yeah, they're trying to bait the bounty rune, hoping. The idea behind it is that everybody goes, Secret feels like they have control of this area, they grab the bounty rune.
Yeah.
But I think Secret, they're smart. Don't walk up into that area where you don't have vision. Go to the high ground right now and see if this was a trap.
What's a bounty rune really going to mean if you can go high ground and force a buyback? It just means the next fight, you just see. Oh, look at this play coming out. Trap, but now Nisha's gonna be. At a loss for words. He was so far forward.
Yeah, the rest of his team got the message. And Chris Luck just decided, I'm gonna step out. Dies almost instantly.
Okay, well that. Just in a precarious position now. They do not have buy due to pull on the Shadow Shaman. And same actually goes for the Rikis. If anything, Secret are probably just going to be a little bit timid. Maybe there's going to be some buybacks come in. The real it's a very tier 2 heal up Radiant spot. Team Secret.
So many different arrows being launched by the App Store. He decided to go for the -5-second Sacred Arrow cooldown. Just chucking those out, hoping that one lands.
Food to travel now for Zai. They've got another hero that can deal with these side lane pushes. On Hector, so well, Hector wants to finish off his Scotty that he's trying to build right now. Is this game going to change anymore as we continue to go late? Because it seems like watching these fights in Team Secret, the ease of execution, the opportunities that they have with so many heroes having an impact in team fights, it seems like they're just going to hold an advantage for the rest.
It's really hard to fight into them just because of the sheer amount of disabled that they come with. And this SD5, and he continues to grow on my list. To throw the disruption, it feels like one of those heroes, if you don't immediately kill him, he has so much impact in. But he's easy to immediately kill because he comes in with his self-save mechanism.
Yes.
And now that he's got the Ghost Scepter, they've got no real way to pop him. They don't have this magic damage. They have to all in so hard for that 5 position. You saw that in the game where Vici played, if you recall.
They know. They know where Chris Luck is headed. They're going to drop something, run blindly into the high ground. Chris Luck has other ideas. He's going to push behind this to mid, seeing if anybody's going to get caught while Hector pushes.
Dire's middle tower.
And this is crazy because Secret, they're not actually just going to go for the Megas here. They're actually going to try and catch from behind. Feel falling. Now they're going to go into the trees. They're going to catch Stinger, who still holds his global silence. He does have a buyback if he can get the gold from the Enchanted Totem after Enchanted Totem just scouring the area. Finally does manage to find him. A jump forward, a tree volley out, but Chris
Absol's on the hunt right now.
Does
got the right idea.
He's going to run in. He just runs. Would have gotten the sight disabled.
Quarter of an inch up, and he has him there, but throws out the arrow instead. That idea though, yeah.
Hey, I just can't believe the number of times that Infamous, when they're down on buybacks, they're willing to push out like this.
It's like they always go for it.
Yeah.
And I think Secret is reading that. They're starting to. It's almost like you know, prize fighter. He understands the movement. He's starting to a little bit better, figure out the reach. They're the fact that Infamous is going to be in those positions.
Just like that boundary ring. But a terrifying ability to like. They're trying to hold by himself right now while his 2 support. 33,000 net worth lead for Team Secret right now. Over 20k experience as they're all hitting their level 20. Puppy is closing in on his. Meanwhile, Chris Luck, that's a balance you really need, especially if he could get the 300 tricks of trade AoE, it would add a lot to these fights.
One more tree, but doesn't manage to nab them.
Heck. Just push outside and farm.
But Secret is so good about disengaging. They're not giving them any sort of easy fights anymore.
But there is a fan screaming just like him, cheering on Infamous, them to be able to bring what just seemed possible with Secret holding such a large lead. That win probability that was once 82% in the favor of Infamous is now up to 90% for Team Secret.
Good, Infamous just did something that gave them 50%. I'm not really sure what that is.
It's a way you're able to like win a defensive fight and then go high, like TP in and go high ground real fast.
Blitz just shrugs. Oh.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know what AI is gonna do.
Vanish.
Jeez. They just are not going for the high ground push like I expected them to.
No,
but
they're gonna wait for the
Roshan
next rush.
is up, so
If you have this much
surely
control,
with this.
why not?
Yeah.
You would one away from being top 6.
And this is an Aghanim Scepter as well, so see those any extra slots.
SD's pretty great too.
Yeah.
And Mirana's not bad either. They've got a lot of options here.
There's the Fisher. Let's go field again. Does manage to get the head. Down the tree volley. Underneath it, Heckler's way with the Cronus. Finish off the knees. Trying to go for it. Get back. With the enchant totem instead, turns back with an easier Stinger, who will fall and does not have buyback. Hector, he tried to go for the back line. He doesn't kill them, but he does manage to make his way out of there.
But Hector is one. But looking like Achilles out there. No one going down. If you're one position, gets into a position where you can't fight, probably.
Yeah, I mean, Nisha was also E3, except for he was almost getting killed. Nisha dropping off a ton of
Gift of eternity.
but
It's so annoying playing.
it's gonna need a few seconds to consume all these. But if you just look at that chart, right? Look at the blocks of red at the bottom of that network chart, and then just the solid greens. Destroyed a tower.
Regeneration.
Kill on Puppy. For the last 20 minutes of the game, Infamous had not been able to hold on to a single real victory in this game. Secret have just been dominating the map and dominating every fight.
And they still continue to hold the lead. It looks like they're just going to slow down the pace of the game. They're going for the absolute. And
Dude, at this point, like, are they just trying to test how much damage one can do? He's trying to get a Battle Fury now. He's got Daedalus and Crystallis, and he's looking at a Battle Fury.
42K, the largest that we've personally seen at this TI.
Yeah, that might actually just be the biggest lead of the tournament as well. Nisha, he's going to pick up the Refresher Shard. Backpack, it is still on cooldown for 80 seconds, though. He also has not consumed the Moon Charge. Throwing a loose. While a bunch of air from the top door, just opening. And a hit.
Feels like some sort of mini game. There's so much that they have to evade. The tree volley, the Mirana arrow.
Spheres, the enchant totem jumps in. The crystal don't actually have a way to be able to save him, so he just dies.
I have against the Chronosphere. It feels.
Radiant's bottom
Back
barracks are under
almost immediately, and there's no need. The Aghanim Scepter, Secret can shit up for 40 seconds here. They're gonna have Chronosphere up. That'll also be about the time the Refresher Shard starts coming off cooldown as well.
Carry won every single.
Yes.
They have no way to do anything about it.
Just no Saints as they opted for this silencer as their For being so confident, they keep on picking power runes as well. You just never know where this is going to change of this game. Look at this. Up to tier 3, these illusions have been chipping barracks as well. You gotta be careful. Pre-buying. And this is an opportunity to be able to jump. Nailing up Chris Luck. The silence here, especially for Schofield. Second inside the trees right now. Nisha beat to a pulp. Spears gonna go for the Riki, who does not have the one. Rating depth from. Oh, it's gonna be Iga coming in for Team Secret. They. Hector makes a jump. Is going to be against Mega. Okay with this, I just flaps away to beat back Secret. The force staff gets him away. He was found, but he really gonna tie back as Hector needs his help. He's gonna be chased on down. He's a little bit farther, but the volley comes in once again. And Whisper, who jump back, skewers back to the safety of the bounce. GG. But no buyback from Hector means there's no more damage left, even as Whisper finally gets that RP skewer. Look how Pink is an infamous. Big fight, they almost had a solid lead. They took 2 ranged barracks. They had an 82% win probability at one point, but Secret just continued